Dungeons and Dragons, the place for shenanigans and sorcery. A hideaway for the geeks to show their evil side by burning people with fire spells and decapitating children. I did D&D as a kid, and it was very fun. I think it's pretty well known that D&D is one of the most popular board games of all time. I had some really good experiences, so come with me, children, for a magical journey through the land of Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, first story. This was me and my brother's first Dungeons and Dragons campaign session ever. I was playing a Dragonborn sorcerer, and my brother was playing a Dragonborn paladin. We were uncle and nephew in the board game. We met up with our party in a tavern and ended up traveling to a dungeon in the hills for a quest. We went in to find a band of goblins with an orc, and me, being the idiot I was back then, went up to the orc to say hi. It was so dark that I couldn't see, so I lit a torch. And once I saw the orc standing right by me, I said, "Hello?" He tried to hit me, and I rolled a high enough dice roll to dodge his attack. That got my entire party, which had a cleric, monk, paladin, and me, the sorcerer, into the battle. One of the goblins had a crossbow, and one of our friends, who was the monk, tried to jump from the stairs and drop-kick the orc. But the goblin with the crossbow quickly shot the monk right out of the air. Once it was the cleric's turn, she healed him back from the brink of death. Once the monk's turn came back around, he killed one of the goblins. The other one got really upset over it and tackled him. The goblin was on top of him, beating him up, when suddenly the cleric casts Divine Smite and nearly kills him. Now later on our journey, a couple of us wandered off into another dungeon that was full of these small dragon creatures called Master that Justin Bieber. The dungeon master said, "Okay," and Elvis rolled. He actually succeeded. Honestly, the story makes me question my existence. After one of the kobolds fell in love with Elvis, he launched acid at their face with an acid spell, and they all went back to being triggered. Now let's talk about some of our party members. We had 7 party members, counting me and my brother. Elvis, the guy who sung Baby by Justin Bieber, was a wizard and was the silly one. He always came to near-death experiences in the game and would get frustrated if he was about to die in the campaign. Then we have the cleric, the one who casted Divine Smite on the monk, who was funny, pretty brutal, and would almost always attackers with Divine Smite. Now the monk. He was hilarious and was my brother's age, making him and my brother the oldest of the bunch. He was funny, usually got hurt during his battles, and did some pretty sick combos during his fights. Then 2 more kids joined. A Dragonborn rogue and his best friend, who played as a wizard and would have to roll 6 dice to cast his fire spell. We stopped playing at our usual place after the store shut down and moved to a different location, but the guy who played the rogue invited us to his house to play some D&D. And everyone had a fun time with some of the new DMs who were pretty fun. Now back to the stories. Our next story took place during the time when we had a druid who then left after 1 session. We had been riding in a carriage to the north in an attempt to locate a dragon temple. On our way, we came across a lake which the wizard drank from and proceeded to fall into a deep sleep. We couldn't wake him up at all. We were riding in the carriage on our way to the city, or somewhere, I don't remember. One morning, we were on our path taking short rests when wolves, or saber-toothed tigers, I forgot which, showed up and dragged the unconscious wizard away. After a moment, we noticed the wizard being dragged off by the wolves. We all rolled initiative and battled the wolves to save the wizard. Well, that was fun. Time for the last story. This is when we went to the rogue Dragonborn's house to play D&D, and we were going to fight a librarian wizard dude who was manipulating the mayor of a city. Before we fought the librarian, we fought a sheriff who had magic gloves. After beating him, we got some of his gloves to use. I had a glove where I could use a magical chain and pull people in or swing them around and they couldn't break it. My brother got a glove so he could snap and cast a small fireball. Once we got to the librarian's fight, we decided to do a combo. I ended up pulling him into me and hitting him into my brother, who blasted him with fire, and hit him into the guy with the punching glove, who ended up punching him. And the guy with the OP fire spell casted it and obliterated the librarian. Me and my brother still remember this story to this day. That's all the D&D stories I have for today. If you want more D&D stories, then tell us in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe. See you later. Actually, before I go, the upload schedule is in the description.